gotta say, I think this artwork on the card is probably the best I've seen yet in terms of challenges that I've completed. Anyway, as far as the actual thing goes, you guys know who I am. This is Bill with NSPCCC. Today we are looking at arguably the toughest RPG on the Super NES. That is 7th Saga, and this is card number 98 in the collection. So 7th Saga is a game that I never played as a child growing up, and really even later in life I didn't play it at all until about last year, just to kind of test and play around with it. It's not that bad as a game in general, but as many people know who have played this, it is notoriously difficult. And I'm not going to get into differences between Japan, US, and different regions, but let's just say that the United States got the shaft here in terms of the overall difficulty and gameplay. If you can overlook that, it's definitely a game worth picking up and playing. The story's pretty decent for its time. As far as the challenge, oh boy, let's see what we got to go with. Oh boy, we got ourselves a toughie here. You might even say it's impossibly tough. Or is it? Stick with me and find out. Challenge states, after reaching Aran Castle, can you defeat Romus at one of these levels? On Pro, we have to do it while our character is at level 4 and only using magic attacks. Okay, so anyone who's ever played this game and gotten to Romus, they know very well that attempting to take him on at a level lower than, say, 7, 8, 9, somewhere in there, you're asking for trouble, and you're probably going to get wiped out and have to resort to using the whistle unless you've properly stocked up on stuff. And when you're using magic attacks, it makes it even that much tougher considering you have low MP levels. Fortunately, if you prepare the right way with items, I am very, very pleased to say that this is in fact a possible challenge. We're going to show you exactly how to prepare and set up for it and then go through the battle itself. Now, the gameplay video itself is rather short, so we're going to go over a lot of preparation strategy here on the card setup screen before we get into the video here. So bear with me for just a moment before we get into the gameplay. Aside from the specific items you'll need for the battle, there's 3 main points you want to keep in mind here. Number 1 is to sell all of the items you don't need, mainly the Opal you get from the big chest at the start of the game here. That's going to give you 100 gold. Speaking of gold, make sure you get as much of it as you possibly can without going past level 4. So that means you're going to be doing a lot of extra battles here, getting as close to that threshold of level 5 as you can. That's going to allow you to buy all the necessary items that you're going to need for the fight against Romus here. Last little tidbit, speaking of closing in on level 5, if you find you're getting close to that threshold, make sure you evade and run away from battles if you absolutely have to. Alright, we've got preparation out of the way, now let's get to the gameplay. Sit back, relax, and watch 7th Saga on the Super NES. Here we go! Okay, let's look at the in-game preparation here on screen. As far as magic, you're going to be dealing damage with ice, and I say that because you're going to use the elf. She's got the highest attack stat for magic here. Items that you're going to need, Potion 1, bring at least 8, preferably 9 if you can help it. Make sure you have the 1 magic herb from the treasure chest, and this is key right here. Bring 2 bottles of protection, not 1. You will need 2 because the first one will wear off during the course of battle. Here you can see I'm level 4. Barely got here with enough time before level 5. Let's go ahead and jump into the battle here with Romus. Level 4, only magic. Alright, as the battle starts, first thing you want to do is cast 1 of your bottles of protection. Get that done out of the way, because if you don't, Romus will wipe you with his first attack if it lands, and it almost certainly will. Go ahead and start casting ice. This is going to be how you deal your damage. With luck, you'll be able to deal basically 10% of his total health. 30, 34, 29, somewhere in there. If you manage to land 10 of those successfully, it's pretty much all you got to worry about, provided he doesn't evade your attacks or absorb health. Hint, hint, he will. It's not going to be as simple as just landing 10 attacks here. Alright, you're going to see, obviously your health will get low, and that's why you need to bring a surplus of Potion 1s here. I would say, if you get to 15 or lower, use your Potion 1s. I have seen his attack deal 15 damage at most at level 4, so make sure 15 or lower, that is your key point. Cast Potion 1 at 15 or lower. Anything higher than that, feel free to cast ice, because that's how you're dealing the damage, and you got to work quick here, because once that bottle of protection wears off, you got to cast that second one quickly. And we're just moving, ice, 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 and healing. That's really the bulk of the battle here. If you've done the work and the preparation, and you brought all the right items into this battle, you should be able to do it. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, because there is still some RNG at play here. Obviously, if he decides to evade your attacks, it's not going to help much, and you could still lose this fight if he just decides to evade. Now, fortunately, we're having some pretty good luck here because we're evading a lot of his attacks as well. And after this one lands, we've only got about like 20% of his health left to deal with, and we're doing really good. One more bit of ice, and we're going to go ahead and heal again, and we're still doing okay. Now, right about here, we're going to use the bottle of protection again because we're pretty low. The way you know when you're really about to need to use that second bottle is when you're almost out of magic. That's almost always when it wears off. So go ahead and use the second bottle of protection, get yourself up to full life. Oh, by the way, we're almost out of magic here. So this is where that magic herb is going to come into play. So pull it out when you know you have to, use it, get yourself all the way back up, and that should be more than enough to get enough damage to deal here and finish this boss off, and I'm pretty sure it is. As long as he doesn't evade 10 straight ice attacks, you've got this one in the bag. So we're just going to go ahead and watch the end of this here. This pretty much should be the end if he doesn't decide to dodge like this. And that's a pretty unfortunate hit. We're going to go ahead and use one of our last potions. I think we should be good to go straight to the end here and just do straight blitz on ice attacks here, since he's only got about maybe 10 to 15% of his life left. And unfortunately, he is deciding to evade a lot of our attacks right now, so I am kind of putting my foot in my mouth. 33. One more ice attack should do it. We're going to take a chance. We're going to go with the ice, hope it hits. And it does, and we have defeated Romus at level 4 with only using magic. That is a pretty big accomplishment, I must say. Yeah, we're level 5, but we got there after we beat the boss, so it doesn't matter. Pro Challenge number 98 is now in the books, mercifully. We never have to look at this one again. As far as looking ahead, we have a couple Game Boy games still to come, and most notably, we have Super Metroid. Pretty close to having that one ready, hope to have it very soon. Take care, guys. We will see you in the next challenge.